Hello everyone, welcome back. We have already started with Stream API in the previous video. Before continuing with that, we will cover some of the important functional interfaces like predicate, function, consumer, supplier, and etc. So before we start, if you are new to the channel and like watching my video tutorials, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you won't miss any new video update. Now, without any further delay, let's start. So let's first try to understand what is a functional interface. A functional interface is an interface in which there is only one abstract method. A functional interface only has one functionality to exhibit. From Java 8 onwards, we can use Lambda expressions to represent the instance of a functional interface. To put it in simple words, a lambda expression can be considered as an implementation of the only abstract method which is available in functional interface. We will see all these things in examples as well. In addition to the single abstract method, there can be any number of default and static methods which can be present in functional interfaces. Some of the examples of functional interfaces in Java are runnable and comparable interfaces. Before Java 8, when Lambda expressions were not there, we had to use anonymous inner class objects to implement the functional interfaces. We have this important annotation which is @functional interface. We can use this annotation to make sure that the interface is functional interface. If we add this annotation and later if we try to add any other abstract method in that interface, then we will start getting the compilation error. So even if we do not add this and our interface is having only a single abstract method interface, that is known as a functional interface. But using this annotation will make sure that by mistake also no one will be able to add any other abstract method. Now let's see, why do we need to use lambda expressions? So there are many benefits associated with lambda expressions. Let's try to discuss few. First one is reduced line of code. So the reduced line of code is one of the clear benefit of using lambda expression. We can create instances of functional interface using lambda expression rather than writing long anonymous classes. The second benefit is sequential and parallel execution support. The third one, which is also very important one, is passing the behavior into methods. So we can use lambda expression to pass the behavior of a method to some other method call as well. So what are the legacy functional interfaces in Java? Java 8 did not introduce all the functional interfaces. There were many functional interfaces that came from previous versions of Java and can be used as lambdas. A significant example is runnable and callable interfaces, which are used in concurrency API. Java 8 also marks these interfaces with @functional interface annotation. With Java 8, they have provided a long list of ready to use functional interfaces, but here in this session we will try to cover few important functional interfaces like function, predicate, unary operator, binary operator, supplier, and consumer. So before we start with the practice, let's just understand in brief about these functional interfaces. So the first one is function. This interface is one of the most important functional interface in Java. The function interface represents a method that takes a single parameter and returns a single value. So here you can see in the signature here itself, it is having one single abstract method which is apply. It takes one parameter and it will return one parameter. The next one is predicate. This function takes single value as a parameter and returns either true or false based on the logic written in the lambda. Next is unary operator. So this interface in Java represents an operation. This operation takes a single parameter and returns the parameter of same type. This is the example of Java unary operator implementation, where we have UnaryOperator, which takes a type of user. And in the Lambda, what we are doing, we are just updating the username and returning the same user again. So here you can see the input type, which was user, and the output type, which is again user, is same. The next one is binary operator. So this interface represents an operation that takes two parameters and return a single value. Both parameters and the return type of the function must be of same type. The Java binary operator interface is useful when there is a need to implement functions like sum, subtract, divide, multiply, etc. that have two elements of the same type and the return element is also of the same type. Next one is supplier interface. It represents a function that supplies a value of some sort. This interface can also be thought of as a factory interface. This is the example for supplier. The last one which we will be discussing today is consumer interface. It represents a function that takes a value without returning any value. So as its name suggests, it's a consumer. It will consume the value, but it will not return anything from that. The implementation of Java consumer interface can be used in printing out some values or writing a file